My name's Phil, welcome back to another episode of Vermont's 100 Covered Bridges. Today we're at the Union Village Bridge in Thetford. So the Union Village Bridge is another bridge with the date not exactly known, as I'll go into. The bridge says 1888 circa, my notes say 1867, so sort of a 20-year difference. And as with a lot of bridges built so long ago, the builder is unknown. And in the world of Vermont covered bridges, the Union Village Bridge is a record breaker. It has the longest multi-Kingpost spans, a total of 16 in total. Here's the King. Here's the King behind me, as we can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and the last one, making it 8. So yeah, 16 in total. I'll stand here and read the notes with the bridge behind me because it's light and I can read the notes while standing here. The bridge has seen some work done in the 1970s, but more recently in 2002, it underwent a complete restoration. During this work, the bridge was brought up to more modern traffic standards by the use of modern building materials. And my notes just blow in the wind. The bridge needed to be able to handle modern fire equipment or risk losing delays to reach homes in the area. The floor and floor beams were replaced with glue laminated timbers. Hopefully we can see them when I go underneath. In another nod to using modern technology in an unobtrusive way, the bridge has been fitted with interior lighting and also a fire alarm system. The only other bridge I'm aware of with the fire alarm system is the Brattleboro Creamery Bridge, my local bridge. And if this one has lighting, well, it needs to come on because it's dark. I mean, it's not dark outside yet, but actually here we can see here, I think it's the first one. That's strange, there aren't any down at this end, but here, if I hold the camera up, there you can see one light, and right at the end near the portal, we have another one. So yeah, I'm assuming this here is the lockbox where the on-off switch. So whether it's on a timer or somebody comes and turns it on and off every day. But it does seem strange to have lighting, but only 2 lights and both in the same half of the bridge. So yeah, a complete restoration. I mean, you can sell like all the these beams and side beams here holding the roof. Here, as you turn around, you can see how new they are, how new the wood is. And that's all the way through. I love, obviously, because it's a multi-Kingpost, that the actual beam has to go the whole way, which is fantastic. Because normally, when you see them, you know, the Kingpost goes up, and the others are pretty much like that. But these have to stretch the whole way down. They're almost like a Burr arch. You know, they're almost arched, apart from the fact they go up and down, but the distance they travel, I guess you can understand why they would build a Burr arch instead of having 16 multi-Kingpost trusses in its place. Because yeah, Kingpost trusses aren't designed to be more than sort of, 40, 50 feet. So you have multiple Kingpost trusses to make it longer, but it gets to the point where you either make a lattice bridge or you do a burr arch. But yeah, Vermont's longest multi-Kingpost truss bridge. And for that, the Union Village Bridge is in the book of most interesting facts, folks. Great stuff. Downstream from the Union Bridge. Let's go and take a closer look at the abutments. Sort of steepish sides, but I was able to walk a bit further down and enter just over there. So it gives me a nice little walk up the stream and a great view of the bridge. Let's go and see the abutments. We're about 4 or so miles away from the Sayre Bridge we were at last week. And of course, you may remember the waterfalls flowing down over the rocks and dropping quite a depth. And the Onpompanusick River is a direct tributary of the Connecticut River, and it flows into the Connecticut River not too far from here, about 10 miles or so, in the town of Norwich. Here we are, just before the abutments. Just got to get over these trees. Of course, I chose the wrong side. I chose the deep side, so I'll see you under the abutment. So on this side, it's a sheer concrete job. On this side, a little setback, we still got an old brickwork. So we'll go up here and take a closer look. Nice little job. Seems to have been there a long time. Now, I think this is a first. I've heard it on a number of bridges that there are glue laminated beams underneath, but they always seem to be well hidden. Here you can see them, and they could have put steel beams under there, but they decided to, like, hey, let's, we know that like glue laminated beams weren't around in the late 1800s, but they look authentic. They look better than steel beams. So yeah, so glue laminated beams, 4 of them under the bridge. It's a nice find. Talking of finds, is this an easier way out? Or is it somebody's garden? I mean, clearly that's somebody's garden. Let's have a quick. Nope, it is their garden. And I'll just go back the way I came. That's my last bridge of the day, so wet shorts aren't a problem. difference in the size of the two banks, the height of the two banks, should I say. Oh, who let the dogs out? Time to go. And before the dogs get me, here's a shot from upstream of the bridge. So peaceful and quiet, apart from the dog. So I'm to go back the way I came, which is fine. What I'd like to know is, why is the water deep under bridges? How does the river know? Oh, here's a bridge, so let's go deep. So if anybody knows the answer to that question, please comment below. Thank you. So thanks again for watching this episode. Hope you enjoyed that. This is the last of 6 I've been today. I left home at 6 o'clock and it's now just short of 6:45. So I've been on the road a long time. I met a journalist for an hour or so. That will be in the Randolph Herald. And I went into Washington County for the first time, did 4 bridges there. And I finally finished off Orange County. And Orange has 11 bridges. 3 were on the second branch of the White River, 6 were on the first branch, and these 2 bridges in Thetford on the Onpompanusac River. So here are the 11 bridges and which episode they're in. Episode 30 is the Johnson Bridge in East Randolph. Episode 31 was the Gifford Bridge, also in East Randolph. Episode 32 was the Kingsbury Bridge in Randolph. Episode 33 is the Moxley Bridge in Chelsea. Episode 34 was the Flint Bridge in North Tunbridge. And episode 35 was the Larkin Bridge, also in North Tunbridge. Episode 36 was the Mill Bridge in Tunbridge. Episode 37 is the Scilly Bridge, also in Tunbridge, as is episode 38, the Howell Bridge. Episode 51 was the Sayre Bridge in Thetford. And here we are at episode 52 at the Union Village Bridge in Thetford. Once again, many thanks to the Vermont Covered Bridge, their continued support with my project. And I'll see you next week in another video. I'm not even sure where that's going to be yet because I haven't filmed it. See you soon. Bye.